Israel just took out Hezbollah's second most important person in the middle of Beirut without any warning. What does that mean for the north? Are we expecting the front in the north to reopen? And then there's this. Half of the Gaza journalists, right, that you see online are actually tweeting from coffee shops in Europe. The game is up, and I'm about to break it down for you. Shalom from Israel. I am Hananya Naftali with the latest update from the Middle East. Let's start with what just happened in Beirut. On Sunday, for the first time in over 5 months, Israel struck deep into the heart of Lebanon's capital. This wasn't just a warning shot, it was a direct hit. The target was Ali Tabatabai, the military chief of staff of Hezbollah, and the man who has been rebuilding the group's capabilities ever since Israel took down much of their leadership last year. Now, according to reports, here's what happened. This Ali guy remained under the ground for a long time, and just when he decided to go above the ground, Israel eliminated him. This is yet again a big shot to what's left of Hezbollah, and I'm sure that they're asking themselves, how is Israel keep doing this? Now, Tabatabai wasn't just another terrorist. You need to understand this. He was the heir to Hezbollah's military leadership, especially after Israel killed his predecessor, Ibrahim Akil. This guy led Hezbollah's elite Radwan unit that was tasked with taking over the Galilee. Didn't happen. He was deeply involved in Syria and Yemen, and he was designated a terrorist by the United States nearly a decade ago. The State Department even put a bounty, $5 million bounty on his head. And I guess the $5 million question now is, who is going to collect this money? Is Israel going to collect it? Is Tucker Carlson going to be okay with that? I'm just joking. Israel would have done it regardless. But the point is, he was the brain behind Hezbollah's plan to rearm and reorganize itself for another conflict with Israel. So what did Israel do? It launched a precision strike in Beirut's Dakhia neighborhood, deep inside a civilian populated area, and still surgically hitting the target and avoiding casualties as much as possible. And by the way, I think Israel is actually leading the way in developing munitions that surgically hit the target, even if they hide in a building full of civilians. And we've seen it. You know, it's actually since we're dealing with an enemy that doesn't care about their own people. And while Lebanon's president is busy writing angry tweets and calling for international intervention, Hezbollah is trying to figure out how to respond without triggering another war that they can't afford. Because keep in mind, Iran funded Hezbollah and smuggled weapons, missiles, and all that to them through Syria. Now, that happened when they had Assad in their pocket. But now with al-Shara in charge of Syria, the new ruler of Syria, that route is closed for them. And I think Hezbollah is kind of helpless without Iran. And you know what that reminds me of? The biblical story of David and Goliath. Except the world has flipped the script. They want you to believe that Israel is the Goliath. Big, brutal, and that Hezbollah, Hamas, and every terror-sponsoring regime in the region are the poor, rock-slinging Davids. But that's a lie. Israel is still David. Surrounded, outnumbered, held to impossible standards, fighting not just armies, but global propaganda machines. And while we do have the most advanced military and intelligence network in the Middle East, we built it not to conquer, but to survive. And just like in the Bible, when the real Goliaths, the one backed by Iran's oil money and Western media megaphones, stand at the gate, we don't beg for peace talks. We take them down. And Israel has every right, actually no, the duty to eliminate threats before they explode in our streets. This is not an escalation. This was accountability. And if Hezbollah wants to cry about ceasefire violations, maybe they should stop using kindergartens and their own people as missile storage and actually figure out how to build a country instead of a terror state. And quick pause. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. If you're tired of the lies, the gaslighting, and the double standards in the media, you're in the right place. I tell truth loudly and unapologetically. And now let's talk about something that will make your blood boil, because it sure did mine. Elon Musk's X just pulled the curtain back on one of the biggest information warfare campaigns in recent memory. A new feature now reveals where accounts are actually posting from. And guess what? That Gaza-based journalist posting emotional videos about his suffering, turns out he's actually living in Poland. That 7-year-old girl from Gaza begging for her life, her account was based in Qatar. Another Gaza war reporter, he's actually tweeting from Indonesia. The so-called Republicans against Trump, based in Austria. MAGA patriots, Bangladesh. You can't make this up. These are not just anonymous accounts with cute bios. These are propaganda farms. Foreign actors running sock puppet accounts designed to manipulate you, to make Americans hate America, Christians hate Israel, and Jews look like villains. This is not activism. It's a foreign PsyOp. They've been flooding X with AI-generated photos, fake war footage, emotional sob stories, and anti-Israel content. That's the focus. And you know what's even worse? Western media outlets were quoting these fake accounts. BBC quoted one of these clowns as an eyewitness from Gaza, when in reality, this guy was sipping espresso in Krakow, in Poland. This is not just about bots and fake accounts. This is actually about influence warfare. And it's working. Millions of people are posting this garbage. Journalists are building articles on it. And political movements are being shaped by it. Israel is not the aggressor, okay? Israel is the firewall standing between the free world and Iranian-sponsored terror. And now it turns out the same people calling us genocidal are sitting in some internet cafes in Pakistan and running 50 accounts with profile pics stolen from Google. And, you know, for those of you who still think this is about Gaza or Lebanon or Middle East, it's time to wake up. This is a coordinated campaign to destroy moral clarity. And it's targeting you, Christians, conservatives, patriots. They're not just coming for Israel. They're coming for America's soul too. So where do we go from here? Hezbollah is weakened, but not gone. Lebanon's government is dancing between wanting Hezbollah disarmed and being too scared to do anything about it. Israel will keep striking targets as long as necessary. And frankly, we're not asking for permission, not from our allies and not from our enemies. We will do what we have to do to safeguard our future in our land, period. And on the digital front, it's time for everyone, especially Americans, to start asking a basic question every time they see a viral tweet about Gaza genocide or Israeli war crimes. Where is this person really tweeting from? Because if it's from a Starbucks in Bangladesh, maybe it's not breaking news, and maybe it's breaking your brain. In war, the first casualty is truth. In the digital war, the first casualty is discernment. This is not just a Middle East issue. This is a Western civilization issue. You either stand with Judeo-Christian values, or you get swept away by moral relativism, pushed by foreign regimes that jail Christians, kill journalists, and silence women, but somehow all of a sudden become human rights heroes when tweeting against Israel. So if you believe in truth, in freedom, in the right of Israel to exist and defend itself, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss these updates. This is more than news. It's a fight for clarity. And don't forget, shop at theisraelstore.com to support Israel. Fight BDS and stand proud against the haters. Every shirt, every mug, every flag you buy is a statement. It tells every anti-Israel activist hiding behind a fake account, you're not fooling us, and we're not backing down. I'm Hananya Naftali from Israel. Yes, actually Israel. Stay strong, stay loud, and stay on the right side of history. I'll see you in the next